Hello everyone, welcome you all to my YouTube channel. So today we have class number 4 for our core Java full course. And in this class we will learn about the conditions if, else and switch. Then we will learn about loops, for each loop, while loop, do while loop. Also, during these condition, we use some keywords also. We can use some keywords also, and those keywords as break and continue. The break we will use to come out of the loop or to come out of any condition, and the continue keyword we will use to skip something. So, how to do all those things? Let's get started. And we have another slide. I do have another slide to explain something to you. And in this slide, you can see there are some mathematical expression that generally we use in Java. If we want to represent A or B, we will use like that, this pi delimiter between A and B. If we want to say that A and B, we will use this signs for A and B, and this diamond sign we will use for lesser than, this will we will use for greater than, equal to we will use double equal sign, and less than and equal to we will use with the smaller the lesser diamond sign and then equal, and for greater than, if A is greater than B, we will use diamond sign this and equal to, and if we are saying that A is not equal to B, we will be using exclamation mark and the equal sign. So that these are the mathematical expressions that we generally use in Java. So now for the next slide, if we want to go to the main topic, these are the if conditions. And these are the syntax for if else and else if conditions. So for the very first condition, if we talk about if, it will be having if and the parenthesis and the curly braces. And for else condition, what we have the curly braces only. But the thing is that else condition will come always after either if condition or after else if condition. And what is else if condition? Else if condition is, it is similar to if condition, like it will be having parentheses and it will be having curly braces, but the condition is that it will always come after the if condition. And else condition can come after else if and also can come after if. So what is the situation over there for the if conditions? If the piece of code that we are giving in the this parenthesis is true, and let me change the color. Okay, not this. We do have blue also, right? So if this piece of code is true, then only the code that we put it in this block will get executed, otherwise not. And same for if else and else if. So if the condition over here is true, this piece of code will execute, otherwise the piece of code that we written in else block will get executed. Same way for else if this condition 1 is true, then this piece of code will get executed, otherwise if this condition is true, this piece of code will get executed, or if both of the condition are false, then the piece of code in else block will get executed. That is the rules for if else if conditions. So now let's get started. Over here in our Eclipse, let's create a session. Let Java project as session 4, and we do not need module. Finish. Let's expand it. Once you expand, we have source folder. Let's create a package over there, and we are doing conditions. We are doing conditions. So conditions, finish, and then we can create a class. Let's say the first class is as if else, right? If and if else, right? And then main method and finished. So if you want to see the very first example, let's say I have a string variable, let's say color. Let's say I do have a variable as color, and that is equals to color red. And what I want, if condition like that, this is the syntax, if color dot equal to, sorry, equals, right? Eq, yeah, color dot equals is, let's say I am saying is red. Fine. Then what should be my statement? Say so. Say, let's say I want to say hello. If color is red, then say hello, otherwise not. So what will happen if this piece of code is true? Then only this piece of code will get executed. So if I run my program here, so what will happen if the color is red? It is saying hello, right? And let me take this in one line so that it will be easy to understand. Fine. Then only this piece of code will get executed if this is true. Let's say the color is not red here. The color is, I am saying, green. So now this statement became false. Now the color is not red anymore, it is green. So if I will run my program right now over here, so nothing get executed because this piece of code is false and there is nothing else other than this to get executed. So we didn't get any result in our console. Now if I put a statement over here, let's say, and that statement is for the else. Right? We have the curly braces. We don't have any precondition for else. The only condition is that we should have a if condition before that. And what we want, if this is false, we want to print over here something. Let's say instead of hello, I am saying something wrong. So if this piece of code is false, this will not get executed and else the code in the else block will get executed. So now it is false. So I should get in my console as something wrong. If I'll run this, I'll get it as something wrong. So now can we have multiple if statements? Yes, we can have multiple if statements. Let's do it. I have here if color is, let's say if the color is green, right? If the color is green, just say the color is, let's say color is green. And let's say here instead of hello, I'm saying color is red, right? So now what is the color over here? The color is green. So which piece of code should get executed? This piece of code should get executed in line number 10. So if I will run my program, it will give me the color is green. Same way, I can have one more if condition over there and I can say the color is yellow. Right? If the color is yellow, simply change here yellow. Right? And if I will run my program over here right now, so it will give me color is green and something wrong. Why? Why it has given me like that? Because the reason behind that is that one if condition, right? One if, let's start with this one first. In the line number 9, this piece of code is what? If this is true, then print this, right? So this piece of code is false and it didn't get print. After that, the green, this is green, right? If color is green, then print this, right? So this else condition is not coming after this if. This else condition is coming after the last if, right? The third if. And here the if is saying if color is yellow, print this, else this, right? And this condition became false. That's why this piece of code, this in this else block will get executed. Because it is checking one by one in each line. It is checking everywhere one by one in every line. First it will check here, and if it is false, it will get executed. If this is true, then what will happen? It will go to this line. And if this is false, this else statement, this else condition depends on this if, not on any other of them. That's why it will get executed. Right? So now even if, let me delete this from here, and now even if I will do here red, let me do red, and if I will run my program, so what will happen? Both of them will get executed in the line number this and line number this. Now let's say instead of two if condition, I have two else conditions, else if conditions, else if or else, right? What will happen now? If I do have red here, so this piece of code became true, right? I'm saying all these else if condition are now dependent on this if. If this is false, then it got executed. If this is false, then it got executed. Else, if all three of them are false, then only this will get executed. What will happen then? If I will run my program right now, so only one statement will get executed. That is the true one, the first one. Now, if I will say here as green, and if I will run my program right now, then it will give me green. And if I am putting here neither red, green or yellow, and I'm putting here, let's say orange, and then I'm running my program, then what will happen? The piece of code in else block will get executed. So that's how we can use multiple if statement, we can use multiple else statement and one else statement, but how they are dependent on each other in this programming, I have explained it. Okay, so that is the if else and else if conditions, right? Now I want to do a piece of code with the two strings, right? String, let's say another one is color 2, right? And the color is, I want the color is, like, let's say the color is red, right? So here, let me take this piece of code in another line. And for this if condition, the color dot equals red, right? And I want to say that or color 2 dot equal what? Color dot equal, let's say color 2 is red, right? Red. So I have given a condition, either color 1 is red or color 2 is red. If any one of them is red, then execute this, right? Else, let's say I have an else statement over there. Else so something, let's say something, right? As this. So what is there? The first condition is false and the second condition is true. So this piece of code will get executed. This one, the color is red. It will simply come like that. If I run this, it will give me the color is red, because one condition out of them will become is true. That's why it got executed. Let's say instead of or, I am saying and over there, and the color is red and color 2 is red, then only it will get executed. Otherwise else statement will run, right? So right now the color is orange but the color 2 is red. So what is there? This is false, this is true. The situation is that and both the color must be red, then only you have to print color is red. So because it is not fulfilling the situation over here, so the piece of code in else block will get executed. If I run my program right now, it will give me something wrong. So that's how our if, right? Else if, else, I'll say if, else if. Wait a second. Else, I said, no, I'll do else if. Oh, I didn't put here like that. How about else, this if, else if, and else conditions will work. That's how these conditions will work. So now we have another condition, and the another condition is what? The switch condition. So let's come over here one time, and we have deleted everything. And if we are going here, let's go to switch condition, right? Now, what is the switch condition? Sometimes what happen, we are writing too many of else if condition. And if we want to reduce the code, then we can use the switch condition. So in many situations, from switch to if else is okay. But sometimes this if else to switch is not easy, so we cannot do it like many times. But if we are using somewhere switch, we can simply use if else condition over there. But every time we cannot replace if else to switch. So what is the syntax over here for this? It is the same as if condition. We have switch, we have the parenthesis, we have the curly braces. In the parenthesis, we have to give the expression, and then we will be having the cases. Case 1, case 2, case 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Many cases we can have over there. And then after the case, we will have the code. And then we can use the keyword break to come out of the condition if the condition got match. Otherwise, this break over there is optional. Okay, and then we have a code as in the default block. The default block will get executed if all the cases will be false. So this is the explanation over here. Whatever I have explained, it is written here. The expression value will be compared with each case. This expression value, whatever is there, whatever value will be given, it will be compared with each and every block. Then once expression match, code will execute for that block. If expression got matched, the code will execute. And if we will use the break, then the code, the condition will the code will come out of the block and further condition will not be executed. Once the match is found, break can be used. Stop the further execution of code and if needed, and it is totally optional. If no case match, which block will get executed? The code in the default block will get executed. Okay, so that is our switch condition. And now let's see how it will work. So we have to create a class, and the class name is what? The switch. SWITCH switch class. And we can have the main method over there. And after that, let's say I have a string. I'm giving simple example, right? I have a string and string is day, and the value for day I'm giving as Monday. Let's say the value is Monday, right? So there is the switch condition we are going to use, and switch will be like this, right? And here we have to give the expression. What is the expression? This day is the expression. You can simply put it here, right? And then we have cases. Case, let's say case is what? The first case is, because we are using weekdays, so our first case is Monday. And then colon. And after that, we want the code to get executed. That is, the day is, we are saying it is Monday, right? It is Monday. And then let's say I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? And simply we can say TUESTAY. We can say WED, Wednesday over there. And then we can say Thursday, and then we can say here, as Friday, right? And we can take this from here to here. We can say take from C from here to here, and this piece of code from here to here, and this is from here to here. So what is there? The case A, Monday. It is true. So this piece of code should execute. If I will run my program, what will happen over there? That each and everything got executed. Why? Because we didn't use the break. So break is for that thing. If I use break here, BREAK, so this condition became true. If this condition became true, then the further code will not get executed. If I will run my program, it will give me only this is Monday. It is Monday, right? Now let's say I am saying here Tuesday. I'm saying here Tuesday. Now what will happen? Because we are not using break anywhere, so whatever is there after Tuesday will get executed. So the thing is that we have to use this break. This is optional, but depending on our coding, for what we are doing the coding, we have to use this break, because we want in the weekday, we want to check every situation. That's why it is checking everything. Now, let's say I am putting it blank. I kept it blank. So all the condition became false. If I will run my program now, nothing will get executed. In that situation, we have the default block, DEFAUL default block. And in this default block column, and in this the default block, we can simply say CISO, and we can say simply weekend. So now if I will run my program, what will get print out? The code in the default block will get print out. Even if I will put it here blank, or even if I will say it is SATURDAY by Saturday or Sunday, the default block will get executed. So that's how our switch condition will work, and that's how we can use the keyword break over there, and that's how the default block will work in our switch condition. Now the next topic. Then what is the next topic? The next topic is the loop, our for loop. So how the for loop will be working? Let me see. I'll delete it from here, and can it work? Oh yeah. Okay, so default, we are going to see the we are going to see the for loop, right? Let me go here. We are here in the for loop. So what do we have in for loop? For loop will be having as for, and inside the parentheses there are three condition, or we can say three statements, and then we have inside the curly braces we have code. We have the code inside the curly braces, and this is one example, right? I'll explain it in Eclipse. Let's see the why these conditions are there. Condition 1, 2 and 3 will decide whether the code will execute or not. So the condition 1 will do what? It will run before the execution of the code. If it is true, then the code will get executed. The very first time it will get checked over here. Then the condition 2 comes, right? It is the condition on which the running of the code or code execution will depend. And then for the third condition, it will run after the code block execution. Once it will run, and the code block will run because of condition 2, it will run every time, and it will give the maximum or minimal value on which the condition 2 will depend, and the code will execute based on these three conditions, right? So let's see how it will work in our Eclipse. So let's have a class as for loop and for loop, and let's have it as a main method and then finish, right? So now why for loop is required? Very first thing, let's say CISO, and here I am printing as hello, right? I want to print this hello one time. If I give my statement as one time, it will get print. It got print over there one time. Now if I want to print this hello as 1,000 times, so what I need to do, I need to use 1,000 lines, and I need to keep on printing this again and again and again and again. But why we are using loops? The reason for using loop is that the 1,000-line code can be written in only one line of code. How can we do that? Let's say I have this for loop, and then the parenthesis and the body, right? Inside the body, what we have, what we want to type? We want to type CISO hello, right? We want to print this hello as 1,000 times, right? How can we do that? Here we have two semicolons, and first will be our first condition, that we have a variable I as data type integer, and the value we want to start at 1, right? And at the end, for the condition number 3, we want this to get incremented by I plus 1, right? This is called the incrementation, and this expression we can use, instead of using like that, we can simply say I plus plus, right? And the condition 2, what are we going to use? I is lesser than or equal to 1,000, right? If we will give this expression over there for this for loop, what will happen? This piece of code will get executed 1,000 times. How? If I will run it here, you can see in the console, if I go here, the hello got printed 1,000 times. That is the benefit of using for loop, that the repetition of work will be easy for us, right? Now there are many things, like let's say I have a string A as apple, right? And I want to print all the char values, right? All the char, chars at 0 at the index. Let me type here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? All the indexes. So how can I do that? That will become, if I want to print it all, let me do this as comment here for a while. If I want to print this, what I have to do, sysO, and in sysO, I'll be doing a dot char at index 0, 1, 2, 3, and I'll be typing it 5 times, giving 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So I'm using 5 lines. And if this simple word is very, very long, I will keep on giving the index number and char like that. So I'll be using many, many lines again. So how to reduce the code? How can I do that? So simply, there is one trick about it. We can use the for loop. And for the for loop, what we need to do? Let's do this part again. The for loop will start at index 0. It will be incrementing from 0 to where, what is the maximum number? It is 4. So how can we do maximum number? Maximum number we can simply take from here. We can say a dot, and we can say length, 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 right? So it is lesser than, not equal to, we want it to be lesser than length, because the highest index number is lesser than the length, right? And here what we want, instead of hello, we can take this piece of code, control X, and we can put it all over here, right? And delete this part. Wait a second. Okay, there's something wrong over there. Let me delete this piece of code from here. And now what I want, CISO, and at CISO what we want, a dot char at, right? And what can we give here? We can give I. So the first value for I will be 0. And once it is 0, once the first value is 0, what will happen? Char at 0 will come, and that is A, right? Then the loop will run again. It will go there. It will do what? It will do I plus plus. It will be doing I equals to I plus 1. So I value was 0 and plus 1 is there. So what will be the I value now? I value will be 1. So it will check whether I value 1 is good for the code execution. So it will check here for I is a dot lesser than then. So it is what? It is 5, right? It is 5. So is it I is less than 5 over here? Yes, it is less than 5. So it will go back and it will took what? It will put I as 1 here. Then our P will get print. Then again it will go back in the loop, and what it will do? It will do 1 plus 1. I value will be 2 now. Once I value will be 2, it will go back and check here if it is less than 5 or not, right? Let me change the color. If it is less than 5 or not. Yes, it is less than 5. So I will be what? 2 here, and then second P will get print. This P will get print. Then I is 2, and it will be what? 2 plus 1. And 2 plus 1 is what? It is 3. It will check if it is less than 5. Yes, less than 5. It will give here what? I add 3, and it is L. It will print L. Then it will go back, and it is 3 plus 1. What it will become? 3 plus 1 is 4, and then I is 4, and it will print as E. It will print all the chars. Now I will become 5. 4 plus 1, 5. Right? Now it will again go to condition number 2, and it will check whether 5 is less than 5. No, 5 is equal to 5, not less than 5. So this condition became false. When this condition became false, the loop will get complete and it will not execute further. And after giving all the chars, the loop will break. So now what will happen? If I will run my program, all the chars will be there. So that's how we can use for loop to do this kind of operations or this kind of codings, right? Now let's say I want to print a table, right? And for printing table, I have a variable as integer a, and okay, I want to print a table for No worries. I do not need that. If I want to print a table for any number, let's say I want to print for 2, right now. So what I have to do, I will be doing here as I want to start at 2, and now I will be what, lesser than or equal to what, 20, right? For table of 2, and here I'll be doing I equals to I plus 2. Instead of I plus plus, I can simply say I plus 2. And here I want to print my I. And now if I will run my program, what will happen? It will give me table of 2 like that. You can see. Now, if I want the table of 5, how can I do? I just simply say 5 here and then I plus 5, and I can say 50 over there and run the program. So like that, we can do simple mathematical things very easily by using the for loop. And there is one thing. Let's say I want to print some numbers. I want to print some numbers. Let's say the numbers are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? I want to print from 2 to 7. So what I will be doing? I will be saying I equals to 2, and maximum is I is less than or equal to 7. Right? And it is what? It is just I plus plus. I equals to I plus 1. Let's say I am saying I equals to I plus 1. That's it. I plus plus. You simply can replace it by I plus plus. So what it will give? It will give me the number from 2 to 7. If I will run my program, it will give me number 2 to 7. Now, inside over here, I want one condition as if condition. And here what I want to tell to if condition, if if I is double equal to 4, let's say 4, then I kept here as the keyword continue, right? I use a keyword that is continue, right? So what will happen? This continue keyword, if you go to the slide back, you can see the continue keyword is what? It is to skip something or some number or some word or something. So right now, because we are working on numbers, what it will do? It will skip the number 4. Out of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, number 4 will not get print. If I will run my program right now, it will not be printing number 4. And if I say that number 4, or let me put here the by delimiter, and I'll be I double equal, let's say 6. Either I or 6. Then continue. If I run my program, it will be skipping both the numbers. So that's how continue keyword, or we can say this continue keyword will work during our if conditions or during our loops. So we can use continue keyword to skip something, right? That's how it will work. Now thing is coming to the for each loop. If we go to for each loop, you can see the syntax. For each loop, what we have? We have the data type, we have the identifier, we have the array name. Meaning the for each loop will work with arrays. When we want to get each and everything to be printed, generally for arrays, then we use the for each loop, and then our piece of code will be there. Like here's the example, that integer array numbers, and this is 23, 34. There's like some numbers, and how can we represent this over there? That for loop will be there. For each loop is there 4, and this integer, this is the data type over here. You can see this is the data type over here, and this is the data type over here with the, wait a second, let me delete this, and now we can, the data type is here. So this is the data type, right? This is the data type. And identifier, we can choose anything, whatever depends on our coding. So here in this example, this is given as a, and then this is what? This is these numbers, the array name. Here it is the array name. So array name is what? Integer arrays numbers. This has been given over here. So array name here, and data type here, and the identifier here. That's how we have to represent our for each loop. Let's get back to the coding part, and let's create a class as for each loop. These things are not difficult, just depends on how much you do in the practice to understand the simple things, right? So let's say I have an integer array int, and I have an array, and the arrays are what? The numbers or the grades we can say, and it is given like this, and this the values are here 23, let's say 56, 76, 54, and 89, like that, right? So how can represent for each loop? And it will be like this. And for each loop, what we have to do? We will do the colon, not semicolon, just colon, right? And before what we have to give? Before we will give the data type. After the colon, we will be giving the this array name. This is the array name. We will take it from here to here, and then the identifier, let's say identifier is A. Fine. So it got satisfied, no error there. Now what we want CISO, and CISO will be what? What we want to get print out over there? We want to print this, let's say A over there. If I'm giving A over there, what will happen? If I'm printing A, it will give me all the numbers. So what it has given, everything got printed over there. So that's how we can use the for each loop. Now let's see one example with the string array. Let me comment this. Let me have a string. And string is A, and let's say a simple example as apple, like that. And what will be there, because we need array, right? So what we have to do, we need to convert this string to arrays, right? How can we do that? A dot to char array we can do. Let's say char array. And how can we save it? We can save it to char array. And we can save it to char array. And it is like my array. We can give the name. We can give the name as my array. So here what we will be doing, instead of int, we have to use this char. We have to use this char, right? Instead of numbers, we will be using my array. My array. And this can be A. Like it depends on to char array. It depends on what we want, right? Wait a second. Variable A, right? Yeah. So now because it is the char, because this been converted to char array. So what we have to do? I'll be taking my array. And inside my array, what I have to give here, we can give simply this A over there. Oh, and this is for each loop. No need for my array. It should come with A only. Mm, 1 second. If I am here, let's check what error it is. Duplicate local variable. Okay. Okay. This is giving the error because this A is here and this is here. So we cannot put the duplicate over there. We simply can say, let's say another, um, my chars. I can say my chars, right? So that my chars is there. We can simply take it from here and we can simply put it here. So that's how my chars will get print. So if I will run my program, all of these characters in Apple will get print over there like that. So by using the simple for each loop, all the items from the arrays will get print by using the for each loop, like that. So what is the difference between for loop and for each loop? In for loop, we can apply the conditions. We can apply multiple condition kind of thing. This kind of continue, and we can apply here also. Like here, if I want to skip something, I can say if, and I simply can say if my chars dot equal eq. Oh, we don't have with the char we don't have this with the char we don't have this, um, equal method, right? So we can say if, let's say my chars double equal, we can have, right? If my chars double equal P, right? Then if I'm putting here the continue keyword, let's see, and let's see, this is P, right? So we can do it what? We can put in single quotation instead of double quotation. I want to put it in here. Let's say instead of P, I want to skip L. I want to skip L. Can we skip L like that? And if I will run my program now, let's see. So it has been skipped. This has been skipped. But in general, when do we use for each loop? Generally, when we want to get print everything from an array, from like an array like integer array, char array, or string array, then generally we use for each loop, and we don't put the conditions like that, because these kind of condition we can manipulate, or we can modify by using the for loop. That is easier to do over here instead of in for each loop. So generally, when we want to get print everything from our arrays, we generally use the for each loop. Now the next thing is not here. Now the next thing is while loop and do while loop. So what is the difference between while loop and do while loop? So in while loop we have one thing. In while loop we will be having the parenthesis and the code. Means here we have to give the condition. First the condition will be checked, and if the condition is true, then only the code will get executed. In our if I delete it from here, in our do while loop, what we have in our do while loop, we have do and code first. Like whatever the condition will not matter. Every time the code will get executed first, at least once. This will get executed one time. Whether the condition is true or false, it will not matter. And also the do while loop is a kind of alternative for while loop, right? But still they are little different in the situation like that. In the do while loop, the code will get execute whether at least once, whether the condition is true or false, doesn't matter. While in while loop, the condition must be true, then only the code will get executed. These are the like example that we will do in our Eclipse. Let's do it here. And I have the class as the um, while loop. While loop. So public string, and then created the class. So what kind of example we can have here is, let's say um, let's say one example as string color, and the color is, let's say color is red, right? The color is red. So if we are using while loop, while, and this is the while loop, right? While color dot equal EQUAL. Let's say equal, and I'm giving color dot equal red. Not red. Let me say I want to change color dot equal black. Then CISO hello. CISO hello. So if this condition is false, then this piece of code will not get executed. If I will run this over here, let's run it. I ran here this, and because this is false, so it didn't get executed. Right now, instead of black, if I will give here red, then let's run it. Once I will run it, what will happen? You can see this is red. This terminator is red, and it is keep on running. I have to stop it. Once I will stop it, you can see so many times hello got printed. The condition is true, that is fine, but I don't want to print the hello so many times. What should I do? I have to give the increment here. And that increment is like I plus plus kind of. But because here it is what? It is a string, right? It is a string. So in the string, we can say we have to put a condition over there that, let's say, color dot eq equals mm, color dot equals black, right? Color dot equals black. After this code, it became like this. Now let's try with the string if it will work or not work. I will run the program. I have run the program, still it is keep on running. So I have to stop it here, right? So what happened with the strings, with the string, even if I have given here, even if I have changed it here, otherwise what can I do? I can say, let's say color and equal to black. Color equals to black. And now I want to run the program. What happened now? This became only printed one time. So in case of string, because we cannot do increment when I plus plus will not work over here. So what will happen? What after this piece of code, we have to give a condition that will make this loop. When after this piece of code, when the code will come to this line, it will go back and check, right? And the condition is now what the color has been changed in line number 10 as black, so this condition will become false. Then only this the execution of code will stop. Otherwise what will happen, once it is red and we are not giving it black, after that we are not changing the color, so it will keep on running, it will keep on running until this condition is true. It will keep on running. That's why it was printing hello so many times. But once the condition became false, because now in line number 10 the condition is what, it is black, so the code execution will stop automatically. That's how with the strings we have to put a condition as false, then only it will stop. But there is a situation when we have integer values also, right? We have ints also. I'm going to delete it. So if we want to get an example with integer, let's say int, and I'm saying int a, it is 5 and the value for integer is 5, right? So then when a double equals 5, print hello, right? This will not work here. So like that. So now in this, the value of a is 5. If I will run my program, what will happen? It will keep on running same way. I have to stop it like that, right? So you can see one thing in the rule, in the set of rule. So this is I plus plus in this example. Needed increment. Needed increment, or we can say change the value, because in case of string, what we did change the value. The code will keep on running until the given condition is true. Once the condition will become false, the code execution will stop. In this string example, what we saw, we just change the value. Or in case of string, what can we do? We can simply do like a plus plus. The value of a will get incremented over here. We can say a plus plus, right? So once a plus plus means a is what? A is equals to, meaning what? Meaning is a has become equal to a plus 1. So now what will be the value for a? It will be 5 plus 1, meaning it will be 6. Once it will be 6, this piece of code will become false and the execution will stop after one print. So now if I will run the program, what will happen? Only one time hello will get print. So the basic rule is, instead of saying that increment needed, the main thing is that the change of the value needed. If the value, like the condition should become false by changing the value, either you doing increment or you just directly changing it to something else. Or we here, instead of doing a plus plus, we can say a equals to, let's say 10. Let's say 10. Even if I change the value like that and I'm doing it, it will print me one time. So that's how while loop will work. Now another condition. Let's go there. and I'm doing do while loop. While loop. So what we have to do in do while loop? It is similar to while loop, but the only difference is we have do. Inside the do, what we have? We have the code, and then we have while, and here we have the condition. Do what? So. So what? So print hello. Let's say print hello. And what is the condition? Let's say I have a condition as, mm, let's say I'm giving here the let's say I'm working with integer and integer value is 5, right? Fine, the same example. Or let's say 15, integer value is 15, right? So while a double equals 15, fine. So this is the thing. Um, this is the condition that when a is double equal 15, then keep on printing hello. So when if I will explain this, what will happen? A is 15 in line number 9. A is 15, then it will go back and it will print hello. When A is 15, very first thing, A is 15, print this. Then check condition. Checking condition, A is 15, go back, yes. A is 15. A is 15, then print it. Go back, check A is 15, yes. A is 15, print this. Go back, check it. A is 15, yes. A is 15. So it will keep on running. So how we have to do that? If I will run the program right now, it will keep on running. Stop it here. And then what we have to do? We have to do here, we can say either a plus plus like that, or we can put any value like a equals to, let's say 12. Any value you can give other than 15. So what will happen? This statement will become false. And if I will run my program right now, it will, wait a second, stop it here. And okay, I got it. What happened? Because it is do while loop, right? Yeah, because it is do while loop. So one thing we will try with that one more time. Instead of doing it 12, let's do it 16 over here. A is become 16, right? And do is here. A double equal 15. A is 16, right? And let's go and check. So it is still keep on printing, right? And I am stopping it again, and I am then doing A plus plus, and then run it one more time. It is still keep on printing, right? So what is the thing? What the mistake we are doing over here is, the thing is that the increment that we are doing here must be done before this condition. And where it should be done? It should be done in this do block. If we are doing that, we cannot do it here. We have to do it here, the increment. Here we can say, let's say A equals to what? A equals to 12. Fine. Now A equals to 12. Do this and we change the A value. And now A is no more equal to 15. And if we will run the program, what will happen? Now it will print only one time. Either we do the increment A plus plus or decrement, whatever it is, run the program. What we did, we just changed the condition. A, we can say A minus minus also. Let's say, let's try with minus minus. We said minus minus. If we are running it, even then it will give us one time hello. So the condition is that if we go to do while loop, that do while loop is an alternative for while loop, and it will execute at least once without checking the condition. But once it get executed, and if it is keep on running until we don't change the condition, either we are doing increment, either we are doing decrement, just change the value, whatever the way is, we have to change the value, then only the code execution will stop. So that's all about the if else if condition, switch condition, for loop, for each loop, while loop, and do while loop. So I hope every condition and loop is clear, whatever I have explained it. So in this class, what we have done in this class, we have covered conditions, if else if, all, and loops, all the loops, and the keywords. So if you have any questions, please comment in the please do comment, and please do like, share, and subscribe to my videos. And thank you very much for watching the videos. Be connected, I will be posting class 5 sooner. Thank you very much.